gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to... This is like Finnish hog tying? Or are we moving like around the Nordic regions, tying up hogs?
Now we're in Portugal. This is the 101 Class Academy penultimate round, setting up the title finale in Sepang this coming Saturday.
Welcome to the Obrigado Cup.
And we're in the qualifying session here as Adelle Fucale comes across the line. She's having a bit of a disappointing qualifying. She was P2 in practice, so looked really quick. And, well, P5 is going to be the best she can do here on the grid. So that's going to be a problem. Zoltan Kalmandi, the dominant force at the moment on pole from Rick Martel, our boy. James Butler, Johnny Major, Fucale, Scott Greenfield with a pretty solid run so far. Javi P. Johnny the Peach, the Dark Lord of the Sith himself, Frederico's Vanger, and Toby Howard, your top 10. Also present is Nathan Edward, pardon me. And there might be some other cars. I don't quite recall the full lineup here. And after the video, I'm going to give you a full rundown of the championship situation heading into the final round. So, nerd alert, you'll be able to turn off before I start getting into that. But the Academy guys said they wanted a full rundown.
Boring!
I mean, to you.
Yeah, pretty much. All I heard was wah wah wah, sometimes we drive cars.
So we got Frederico's Vanger here. 2 PBs so far, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time to finish the lap there. Nor do I believe he'll actually improve, because I think he's a little too far off of Johnny the Peach to move up on the grid. So he'll start from P9, Toby Howard from P10. Championship contenders, Adelle Fucale starts from P5. Mathematically alive, but not likely, James Butler will start from P3. And we know that we do have Nathan Edward on the grid, but I believe he was unable to get a legal lap in during the qualifying session and will have to come from pretty close to the back of the pack. So that'll be interesting to see how that shakes up. So let's see, how many cars do we actually have here? I think it's 12 or 13.
If you don't turn in a legal lap, do you get deported?
No, you just start at the back.
Boring. I want actual consequences.
I mean, that is an actual consequence to a racer, sir.
Well, I'm assuming that if you don't turn in a legal lap, you're probably not fast enough to be on the race anyway.
Nathan Edward definitely is. Nathan Edward is a very fast driver.
I heard that some people compare him to a sloth.
Rapidamente. Who would be the sloth of ESR? Yeah, there is 13. So Jordan Alcolia, Nathan Edward, and Carl Hackman coming from the back.
Hackman and the
Masters of the Universe. And they are off. Fucale has already made up a spot, so she'll be looking to maximize the gap she can put between her and championship leader Nathan Edward, who is off to a reasonable start. He's up to 10th place, so those will be the two cars that we really want to keep an eye on. But it is Kalmandi leading from Butler. Rick Martel has slipped to 3rd. Johnny Major, P4. And then it is the championship contender Fucale ahead of, that is Scott Greenfield. Frederico's Vanger up to 7th place on the start. Good start by the Greek Freak.
Well played, sir.
Indeed.
He has elevated himself out of the racing recession.
Indeed. A couple of issues with this particular video, of course, is that we do have the wrong logo in the upper right-hand corner there. It's not the Academy logo. And I forgot to turn the flags back on, so you've got... everyone is in a BMW, if you didn't know. So, there you go. James Butler being held off for now by Zoltan Kalmandi. I'm not sure if Zoltan has actually won an ESR race before. So, we might be on the verge of seeing a debut win here. Johnny Major's up to 3rd, so Rick Martel is going backwards. And it looks like the top 6 are kind of making a breakaway. That is Kalmandi, Butler, Major, Martel, Fucale, and Greenfield.
It sounds like a pretty good band.
Actually, a little bit, yeah. Greenfield is, of course, Tombstone, since you know Tombstone.
The Dumpston?
Yep. That is Scott Greenfield. Oh, the model's a little bit off.
Green's got
and under attack from Adelle Fucale. Can Fucale get through? I'm going to go with a yes. She's got a very good inside line into that next turn there. No, Martel held it. So there's me selling Rick Martel a little bit short. Good defensive driving by the Canadian driver.
Put him in the wall.
Kalmandi still leads. James Butler is going aggressive into turn 1. So this could be interesting. As Mr. Bautelier would like to keep his mathematical chances at a title alive. He slides. Nope. Nothing to do on this occasion. Oh, maybe. Calmonte gets a little bit wide, and James Butler is through, and a little bit of bump and grind between Johnny Major and Zoltan Calmonte.
Here he are.
And Rick Martel now in there. 3 wide, and it is Johnny Major who gets through. So Zoltan Calmonte, far from leading the race, has now slipped back to 3rd place. Vanger has lost a couple spots, actually all the spots. He's at the back now. Through goes Javi P, John Peach, Jordan Alcolia, Nathan Edward, Carl Hackman, and Toby Howard. Now that is your 7th through 12th place drivers.
Not to be confused with Toby Klein.
True. Toby Klein is psycho, so I don't think Toby Howard will qualify.
Toby Howard seems like a nice guy.
Sounds like a nice guy, and everything I've heard about Toby Klein says he's a nice guy, but he also may or may not shove thumbtacks
people
up
for money.
Yeah, we'll shove thumbtacks up someone's butt for money. So it's less than ideal. We got a battle.
Fair, wouldn't we all?
Got a battle of the twin green cars. Javi P putting pressure on Scott Greenfield. Javi P, you got to change your car, buddy. Because I mean, Scott Greenfield's got the green car. That
does
just makes sense. Yeah.
But I do like green, so I'm not opposed.
Indeed, more green cars, please. Sector 3.
Like some dark green, a little black highlight.
Yeah, dark green. I love forest green on a car. It's a great color.
I prefer pond scum green.
What would pond scum
I have
green
no
be?
idea.
That's something to debate in the comments.
Just go out and glue duckweed to your car.
All right. So the top 5 have kind of gotten away. Then you got the battle of the green. Oh, Fucale on the attack again against Martel, but he is so far held on. Not a great race for Rick, it must be said. Slipping from 2nd to 4th is never a good feeling, but James Butler and Johnny Major, the guys on the charge right now, the men of the race. So you got that battle of the top 5. They're all pretty close together. You can see them all in their shot there. And then you get the battle of the green cars, Greenfield and Javier Perez Torres. Then you've got a group led by John Picha, which has Jordan Alcooli on it. Nathan Edward is quite a ways back, so he's had, I assume, an incident of some kind. Toby Howard and Vanger are scrapping over 11th place, and it looks like we have lost Carl Hackman, if memory serves. His power went out.
I believe there was a tornado in the area, perhaps, or the hurricane.
Indeed, and also the problem with, of course, that is that Carl Hackman's power is tenuous when the weather is good.
Correct. They have to beam it in from space.
Indeed. Oh, and it is Fucale through into 4th place. Move there. Got the better of the veteran Rick Martel.
Ricardo, why you do this?
You need to come up with some kind of like a Portuguese way of saying Martel. That's our...
This is the Ricardo Martel.
Ah, there you go. There. See, we're that good.
If you're cool like me and watching the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stuff, you pick up on these things.
Exactly. You can make a Portuguese word out of just about anything.
Pretty much.
I mean, you could also just watch Renato Laranja a little bit. And...
Uncle Hanach!
Indeed.
Yeah, I haven't seen an Uncle Hanach video in forever.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing much lately. Johnny Major looking to make a move. Speaking of, now that we're down the MMA rabbit hole, have you seen who might be at the MSG card to put the bad motherfucker belt on someone's waist?
Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, no, it's going to be The Rock. George Masvidal's fighting Nate Diaz over what they have termed the bad motherfucker belt. And they've actually made like a bad motherfucker belt.
That's awesome.
And, George Masvidal is like, I want The Rock to put that belt around my waist. And The Rock responded on Twitter, he's like, yeah, I will do that. I will be there. I will make that happen.
The BMF World Championship.
Indeed. That's almost like the Dustin Poirier and Eddie Alvarez fighting over the King of Violence belt.
Actually, if you look at my TeamSpeak avatar, you'll have the only true belt that ever existed.
Oh, I'll check that out after the race. Or maybe while I'm going through the possibilities for the title there.
Indeed.
I mean, we're talking about championship. That's a belt, is it not?
That's correct.
There we go. So it is still James Butler leading from Johnny Major and Zoltan Calmonte. Those appear to be the 3 men to beat right now. Fucale is holding off Rick Martel for the time being. Javier Perez Torres has gotten ahead of Scott Greenfield, so that battle has somewhat resolved itself. And then it's Picha, Alcolia. Nathan Edward is not really making as much ground up as I would have thought. Championship leader and all, so the championship looks pretty good for Fucale right now. She's P4, and in P10 is Nathan Edward, and I do believe this is Nicola driving for the Fucale car today, and not Sabrina. This is, of course, the site of the Fucale's only victory last season, which was provided by Nicholas. So that seems intelligent to let her drive the car.
But I think he's going to have to change his name to Nathan Backward.
Nathan Backward. Oh, a little bit of contact with the rear end of Butler there from Johnny Major. Nothing above board. A little contact is rubbing his racing and all that.
The stewards are telling me no, but my gas pedal is telling me yes.
So there is that. There is Byron's idea of things. Just trying to think of anything else interesting I want to throw in there.
I've blown your mind.
Yeah, mind is blown. That is the case in all ways.
It's your boy the Colorado Olive.
I've got messages on Discord, so we might have a third man in the booth for the next race. So there we go.
The booth. Yeah, since you're unemployable, we can do commentary all the time.
I mean, until I get another job. But yeah,
boring.
We got some time. We got a time period here. I intend to probably start the job hunt in December. Fucale is off, and that has allowed Rick Martel back through. I wonder if Martel played a role in that particular position swap, or if I didn't see anything. I don't think
they were close enough.
Yeah, and nothing got reported to the stewards, so I'm going to suggest that was a self-induced moment.
Not trying to throw any shade on your boy Ricardo Marchel, but he just wasn't close enough to hit her.
There we go. Johnny Major going down the inside. He takes the lead from James Butler. Our fellow wrestling fan, Juanito Mayor, to the front. But James Butler is not giving up, and he's a feisty one. Still looking for a way around. So Fucale is now under pressure from Javier Perez Torres. And in the background there, you can still see Scott Greenfield. Nothing else really happening right now. Vanger has gotten past Tobias Howard. I guess that is of interest. Butler got back past Major, but Major is going to dive down the inside and
everybody
retake the position. And Butler down to second. Yeah, the new drinking rules.
You have to write those down. Because, spoiler alert, I was a little drunk last night when making them, so if I don't write them down, I'm going to forget.
Indeed. Well, I'll get them written down.
Excellent. We need that posted and pinned somewhere.
Javi P is on the attack against championship contender Adelle Fucale. Does he have the pace to make it through? I must say, a little disappointed with Adelle. She was looking really, really solid in practice. Second fastest by, her and Zoltan were definitely the two to beat. And it's not really translated. She didn't get a great qualifying, and then Zoltan did have a great qualifying, did qualify third, did qualify on pole, but is back in third place. So, just another example for the Academy drivers that simply one lap pace doesn't necessarily equal things. You got to be able to put down consistent laps and keep it on the track.
I'm waiting for a particular piece of action to happen so that I can start singing "Hello from the Power Slide."
We got a side-by-side action going there between Javier Perez Torres and Adelle Fucale in the background. I would like it if we could get the camera on that, please. Adelle going down the inside. Can she make it happen? I think she can. Yep, easily, actually. There's like a good car length in that, actually. So, very, very easy move.
Lost a hell of a lot of speed on that one corner, though. Like, I honestly, from that camera perspective, I can't really tell how sharp that corner is, but there seems like there's a lot of room. It's slowed down a lot.
It's a very sharp corner. That is, I would say, one of the most difficult corners on this track, actually, to get.
Yeah. If I had an overhead view, I'd be more forgiving. But right now, I'm just gonna make fun of everybody for slowing down like chickens.
Go ahead. No. I mean, she did probably bleed more speed than she had to. I'll give you that.
I mean, there's always a solution, and that solution is drift.
Actually, these cars drift pretty well. So
don't slow down. Just go sideways.
You're not wrong in that regard. So Johnny Major still leads from James Butler. You feel like Butler might be the faster of the two. Javier Perez-Torres is back on the attack again. Can he get the job done against Adelle Fucale? That's not how you get the job done.
Gets the job kind of done.
But it takes himself out, though. So,
well, I mean, maybe he's just got some self-harming issues we need to work through.
Indeed. Let's see where they rejoin. They've lost spots to John Picha. Jordan Alcoli is through. Nathan Edward is through. Scott Greenfield's through. What happened to Scott Greenfield? He's back in like 8th place. That's it's a bit weird because he was running in the top 5 or top 6 anyways for a while there. But yeah, that did not work out for Javier Perez-Torres or Adelle Fucale. They're back down to 9th and 10th place. So that is less than ideal, and that is definitely played into the hands of this man, Nathan Edward, who's up to P7. Won't be happy about the P7, but he is ahead of championship rival Adelle Fucale. So getting some more points towards his lead, which came in at just 2 points at the start of this race. It was very, very close.
Agreed.
And we'll see how he approaches the remainder of the race, because now that he's ahead, you got to wonder if he maybe, keeps it a bit low, takes a high grid position for race number 2, sees what he can do. But he's got John Picha.
Yeah, hello.
And, if John Picha's going to just give him the spot, I'm going to take it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, John Picha is driving the ugliest car in the world.
Oh, that hurts. Fuck Performance will take you to court, sir.
Fuck Performance apparently has changed their name to Fuck Liveries.
I actually do like that.
Oh, I don't like. It's the shade of gray mixed with that shade of yellow. Just not.
Oh, yeah, no. I do admit that the color combination itself is not great.
It's like the worst. It looks like the worst ice cream you could ever have.
You know what? What if you replace the gray with like a black? I think
just darker gray,
really
darker gray,
or even
yellow.
even like a gunmetal. That'd be great.
Yeah. Just give me a darker gray and a brighter yellow, and you probably have an okay combo. But right now, you look like the worst Sunday that's ever existed.
All right, quick recap. Johnny Major leads the race from James Butler, Zoltan Calmani, Rick Martel. Up into the top 5 all of a sudden is Jordan Alcolia, Nathan Edward, John Picha, Scott Greenfield, Adelle Fucale, Javi P, Federico Zvanger, and Tobias Howard. That is your 12. Oh, contact!
Hello again.
That's a spun around Scott Greenfield, and Fucale's going to get a spot. Maybe we'll, however, have to deal with a stewarding review on that particular corner.
What are you talking about? It's just a high five.
No, and I can confirm she did get a. I can't remember if it was a tier 1 or a tier 2 penalty for that one. So yeah, there.
Which one is worse?
Tier 2 is worse.
Oh, so it's descending. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like levels of hell.
Yes. Tier 1 is 5 points plus 3 license points, and tier 2 is 10 points plus 4 license points.
Damn. And since you only get 1 license point, you're fucked.
No, they actually have. I don't know how many license points actually they have for this one.
I don't know, like 18 or something.
Javi P and Fucale going at it, and there's some rubbing and a spin around.
Everything's all
very
friendly. You're gonna give hugs, high speed
hugs.
That
might have been somewhat of a retaliation for the earlier contact between those two. Didn't see the beginning of it, so I can't comment if the stewards would have taken a dim view of that, or if that was just a side by side rubbing is racing type of moment. We'll go with the latter until confirmed.
Listen, pit maneuvers are also racing.
They are a thing that happens in racing.
Pit maneuver is racing.
Nathan Edward is on the attack against Jordan Alcolia, so he's looking for a top 5 here, which would it would make it really difficult for Fucale to take the title.
Do you want the title?
In that regard, do you want the title? Yes.
Good old ball kicker himself. The only good thing he ever did. Other than kick people in the balls hilariously.
So, speaking of Czech Congo, completely pussed his way out of a fight with Ryan Bader. There you go.
What? I thought the fight was already on.
He claimed Bader poked his eye, and
replay shows otherwise.
It looks like a punch. So,
well, he just poked it with his knuckles.
Oh, Nathan Edward going for it at the line. Can he get it? Yes, I think he did. He did. And indeed, Nathan Edward takes it from Jordan Alcolia at the line. John Picha takes home a pretty respectable 7th place ahead of Adelle Fucale. And here comes Scott Greenfield. Not a great race for Greenfield, but you know what? He's going to be starting on the front row for race 2. That can definitely help you out, make things a little bit better. And the man who's going to start on pole for race 2, the man from Greece, Frederico Svanger.
Hell yeah!
And Toby Howard 11th. It looks like we have lost Javi P, so maybe something broke in the car in that contact that we saw.
Yep, see, there's a gray and yellow combo that works.
Yeah, that would work better. That would work better.
I'm saying.
I'm not defending the color choice of the livery. I like the pattern. I don't really like the colors.
I will destroy all horrible liveries. Actually, you should take a quick peek at my avatar.
That's a good point.
Johnny Major with a big old win for Team Schneidelwasser Horsey Sport.
FTW. There you go.
Exactly. Forticate the world belt.
Pretty much.
Brooklyn World Belt.
The Brooklyn World Belt.
That's what Taz called it.
Alrighty, so we got the grid for race 2. It's going to be Vanger starting on pole from Greenfield. I'm looking for Greenfield to put up a good result here because he has some speed. Just needs to calm it down and deliver. It's going to be P3 on the grid is Fucale. She's going to be looking, I think, for sure, needs a win almost at this point because getting beaten 5th to 8th in that first race by the guy already beating her in the championship, it's looking rough title-wise for her. Edward will start from P6. It's going to be between them. It's Picha and Alcolia, Martel, Calmondi, Butler, Major, Howard. No Javi P on the grid, so we've lost Javi P. Maybe a technical failing.
I think if Greenfield doesn't win this race, he should have to change his nickname to Mr. Green Jeans.
He got off to a really bad start there and has slipped back to about 5th place there as Nathan Edward has got a fantastic start and the championship contenders are rubbing. Oh! Frederico Svanger. I think there's connection problems for Mr.
I'm totally
Vanger.
fine with those connection problems. That was spectacular.
That was pretty impressive.
Frederico's, I don't know what you're doing there, but joining the race in the middle
so
of
Fucale came off the worst of that. Nathan Edwards in first. Fucale's down to 6th after their rubbing moment. So that has worked out for the championship leader, Nathan Edward. He's up front. Scott Greenfield is in 2nd after all that carnage. Calmondi is up to 3rd, so he's looking for a double podium here. James Butler is 4th. John Picha, Adelle Fucale, Jordan Alcolia, Rick Martel, Johnny Major, Tobias Howard, and it looks like Vanger may be done, which would make sense after the
savage beating,
the networking issues we saw there. OAC. That is the unfortunateness of the national nature of our server. Is ping can sometimes be a bitch. So Scott Greenfield is right now the biggest ally of Nathan Edwards. Edwards up there in first place. We know he's got pace. We know he's a very competent driver, championship leader. And you've got Greenfield here. He's a little bit newer to the grid, and he's kind of holding up Calmondi, Butler, guys who we generally associate with being maybe threats to Edward as a winner here. Fucale's back there in 6th place still. She needs to get past John Picha ASAP. Jordan Alcolia, Rick Martel, John Major, Toby Howard. I think we can probably confirm that Vanger is done. He is now 1 minute, and he's about to be lapped if he is indeed still in the race.
I would just park on the side of the road and watch the race.
Yeah, but but this is Frederico Vanger we're talking about, sir.
True.
A man who never gives up.
This is true. This is 100% true. I've never seen him his entire whatever it is must be crushed into his camshaft is all rinked back. He's got 3 or 4 rear hobbins missing.
Little physicality between Calmondi and Greenfield, and that was a little bit feisty. Worked out for Greenfield. Yeah. In the background, Fucale has gotten past Picha, so she's up to 4th. Greenfield versus Butler here, side by side into a common overtaking area there, and James Butler gets the job done. Fucale looking to follow through as well, but Scott Greenfield hangs on to 3rd for the time being. Jordan Alcolia on the attack against John Picha. Johnny Major's in the mix there. Rick Martel's in the mix there. So things are looking interesting there. There is Fucale up to P4. 2 cars between her and championship rival Nathan Edward, though. It's not a great spot to be in. She's going to have to probably be more aggressive than you'd like to be.
I don't know. I like all the aggression.
Jordan Alcolia made a mistake there and has now lost a spot to Rick Martel and is dicing with Mr. Scott Greenfield!
Hello,
Scott Greenfield
Shirley.
Off the track.
You shall reap what you sow, sir.
John Picha putting him off the track, though it looked like contact was between Greenfield and Fucale. That's round 2 between them. That one, I believe, escaped penalization, but the first one did not. So we have Nathan Edward now leading from James Butler, Adelle Fucale, Rick Martel into 5th place behind John Picha. Johnny Major, race one winner. Johnny Major's up to P6. Jordan Alcolia, Zoltan Calmonti, Tobias Howard, Scott Greenfield back down to 10th. He's looking like he might try to take a run at Rick Martel, but thought better of it. You don't take the veteran like that.
Don't you lose like a shit ton of speed whipping out that far?
You do.
Well, how's that supposed to work then?
It's if you're closing in and you've got a significant speed delta, you can whip out like that and go for the overtake. But not well calculated by Johnny Major there, because now he's got John Picha. Contact! And it is Jordan Alcolia who spins Johnny Major around.
No,
Tragedy for the race 1 winner.
Juanito got Pearl Harbor.
A little bit. Yeah, I think we can confirm that Vanger, who is now 2 laps down, is out of the race. I think that is probably a safe comment at this point. It is Rick Martel versus John Picha. Battle of 2 of the more veteran guys in the grid. Very experienced drivers fighting over 4th place there. Adelle Fucale is a fair ways up the road, and there's Zoltan Calmonti coming by them. We know Zoltan's got speed. Podium finisher in race 1, pole sitter, fastest guy in practice and qualifying. Undoubtedly a guy who has a chance to make life difficult for the 2 vets. Tobias Howard's up to 7th place. Good on him. Jordan Alcolia, Scott Greenfield, and Johnny Major rounding off the field.
The Tobinator.
Go Toby!
Tobin, I say rather, it is Lord Tobington.
Yeah, we gave Toby a little bit of love there, and we may have jinxed him. He's lost spots to Alcolia, Greenfield, and Major.
That does happen.
And this is getting interesting here, because it looks like Martel is actually the slowest of these 3, and that Calmonti might be the fastest. Which means that we're getting a lot of Constantina effect here, which could lead to some interesting positions. Calmonti is going for that overtake into turn 1, like we talked about before. He's not going to get it done, though. And John Picha will hang on to 5th position for the time being.
What's this about the Constantine effect?
Constantina.
John Constantine?
I mean, it may have something to do with John. Oh, Calmonti coming to a stop
Homeboy just
there.
ran out of juice.
Yeah, I'm going to assume maybe a technical glitch for Mr. Calmonti.
He ain't had the momentum.
Johnny Major getting through into 8th place there on Scott Greenfield. Scott Greenfield having a bit of a rough time. Started P2 down to P9. It's rough times for him, but he was showing great promise in the practice session that he had with Paul Riccobeni that I attended, and I think Scott Greenfield's headed for big things as a success story at the Academy eventually, which is
that crazy Irish bastard Rick O'Benny.
Rick O'Benny. Rick O'Shea.
Correct.
So Zoltan Calmonti's connection problem appears to have sorted itself out, and he's now on the tail of John Picha once again.
Fuck, figure it out.
Figure it out, man.
That's what I said. I said figure it out.
Allegedly.
Preposterousness. Your sister's hot, Wayne. I said it.
I said it. I'm running. Ah! You get your ass beat by Wayne.
Correct. Man, I downloaded all. I found them seasons of.
Found them. Yes.
Somehow they wandered onto my computer, and I have not watched them. But then I also need to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I'm like 4 episodes away from completing 1 season on that.
Yeah, I've got Letterkenny and Killjoys are my two need to binge watch and catch up series right now.
I would recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure if anybody's listening to this and you'd be like, oh, fuck that anime shit. Just watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and please don't take it seriously.
I think that's the best way to take any anime.
Well, you get emotionally invested in stuff and whatnot, but you can't take even an ounce of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure seriously. I'm on like the 4th season, and it's just so much more fucked up than it starts out like a normal drama-ish type thing, and then just goes to fucking hell in a handbasket. It's great. There's very, very extreme homoerotic overtones to virtually everything, and it gets amplified every single season. It's hilarious. There's one guy, this one ancient vampire gets released from his prison in a giant wall carving, and he just jumps out in the biggest figure skating in a tutu type pose, and like they freeze frame and go around him, and then he just slaughters a bunch of cops.
Interesting.
It's just so fucking funny. Like, it's unnecessarily hilarious.
So the race, we got 6 minutes left, but there's nothing really happening at the moment. The closest together cars are Calmandi and Picha. So I think
that's why I was talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Exactly. That tends to be how we work. It's how we roll. But I think Zoltan is lining up for an overtake here. You can see the gap is closing down to 0.2 of a second. Does he pull out from the street, from the draft to get the job done? He's going for it. And not going to get it. By the way, Rick Bartel seems to be kind of struggling in that straightaway because they both caught up to him significantly. So, wondering what's up with Rick there. This is a stock setup, so there can't be any difference there. Oh, contact!
He lost all the juice again.
Zoltan
I just had a great idea. I need to contact Jesse, like, immediately. Well, not immediately, but...
very soon.
Soonish.
So Calmondi's going to drop back behind both Jordan Alcolia and Johnny Major, who are now up to 5th and 6th. They had a contact earlier, so there might be some bad feelings going on there. Calmondi down to 7th. Picha rejoins in 9th behind Scott Greenfield, ahead of Tobias Howard, who's a fair bit ways back, unfortunately. Terrible for Johnny P. He was doing very well. The Peach was going to bring home, it looked like, a top 5 position there. But Jordan Alcolia always happy to take that, and it seems to be like he's been but Johnny Major's gonna say no, top 5 is mine, sir. I won race 1. I'm gonna show you why I won race 1.
Correct. Yeah, there you go, drift it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Don't slow down, go sideways.
There's a fair bit of drifting through these corners here, actually. But
pop the E and whip that bitch sideways.
I think we may have lost Zoltan Calmandi. He's dropping like a stone. Wondering if the internet connection has failed for the Hungarian driver.
Dropping like an olive pit. Because honestly, the last name always makes me want Kalamata olives. You're a jerk just for existing, Zoltan.
I would have thought calamari would be more the connection.
I mean, now I want both of those things. Thanks for that. Kalamata olives and some calamari.
Contact again between Alcolia and Johnny Major. Someone's just got to separate those two. Like, that's just all there is to it.
To the death.
And that promotes both Scott Greenfield and John Peaches. Scott Greenfield in 5th place. Yeah. No one wants that 5th place. It just keeps being contact there. This is like 1999 Nürburgring all over again. Where like
Alcolia is all over the fucking place.
He is a little bit, yeah. Making that crayon vomit car dance.
Alcolia has a problem with his cochlea and therefore is a little squirrely.
That's good. So we got Nathan Edwards still leading from James Butler. Butler is closing him down, but not at a rate that suggests he's going to have a play for the win. Fucale is even further behind Butler. Martel is just on his own, like 10 seconds behind and then 12 seconds ahead. Lonely race for the model. And then there is a good battle going on here for 5th, though, because it is Greenfield, it is Picha, it is Major, it is Alcolia. I think they are all live to take this 5th place. And to be honest, at one point or another, they all had that 5th place, and then things went bad for them.
I was going to say, here we go again! Here we go! Here we go!
Oh, little rubbit!
Oh, yeah!
The two
It's all friendly.
Two Johns managed to keep it together, though, despite the rubbing, and we'll see if he goes forward here into turn 1. Is Major going to go for it. Nope. Looks like he's content to just... Oh, no, he is going for it.
Team Scheiser Hornet, what's going on?
Indeed. Team Schneid Honert.
That's what I said.
Yeah. And, there's a little power drift for you.
I like it.
And Johnny Major, you feel like he's got to be the fastest guy of this bunch. Again, race 1 winner. He's come back from multiple contacts with Jordan Alcolia. And probably, I think it's safe to say that Johnny Major will not be sending Jordan Alcolia a Christmas card.
I mean, there's a lot of time between here and Christmas.
That's true. A lot of time for the Spaniard to make it up for him. Johnny Major went for a bit of a dive there on John Peach. It did not work. So he's relegated back to 7th place again. And he's on the attack again. This could be the last lap. We got less than a minute to go, but it depends where Nathan Edward is on the track. We might get one after this. And can Johnny Major get the job done? We're coming up to one of the more interesting spots on the track here. There's multiple ways to attack this next 3-corner bit.
I was waiting for him to crash into him when you said attack.
You can see a lot. You can see Peaches slides very wide there, gets a little bit on the grass, but he has the inside. Johnny Major trying to go around the outside. Can Major get it done? The answer is no. Peaches hangs on for the time being, and Jordan Alcolia's got a sniff now. This is all playing into the hands of Scott Greenfield, by the way, who is slipping ahead into comfortable 5th place. There it is! I didn't even really expect it to go there, but Johnny Major with a beautiful move there on John Peaches. Surprise! Attack.
Some fries, bitches.
Indeed, it does look like we are going to get one more lap. What does Jordan Alcolia have? What does John Peachy have? What does Johnny Major have? This battle for 6th place is going to go to the line. John Peachy gets a little bit out of shape. Alcolia sniffs a position. Can he get the job done? The answer for the time being is no, as he dives down the inside, and he does get it, actually. So after all that,
well played.
All that working up, it just took a little bit longer.
See, he's just a drifting machine.
He is all over the place. There's
the
Toby.
problem is he's trying to drift in a straight line, and not the greatest thing.
There's Toby Howard coming across the line to begin his
He's a
final
race house.
lap. He is indeed.
Mighty. Get it all on the fucking track.
John Peaches drifted a ways back, so I think he's had a moment of some kind after losing that spot to Alcolia. It looks like it is going to be Nathan Edward who brings this on home. There is Frederico's Vanger in the pit lane. We saw him exit after some interesting issues with internet connection.
Correct. Although I do appreciate that he's got the 152 on the car. That tickles my tank destroyer heartstrings.
This is true.
Big bada boom.
Nathan Edward is your winner from James Butler, Adelle Fucale. Then it is going to be Rick Martell, Scott Greenfield with the top 5. Nice work, Scott. Johnny Major coming home in 6th place despite a couple of airy moments, so good work by Johnny. Jordan Alcolia finishes P7. He might be being dropped before the steward's office for some conversations about...
Sir, do we have to talk about your substance abuse problem? I mean, I have a substance enhancement problem, but, I mean...
And John Peachy coming across the line in 8th place. Looks like he's got some damage. I don't see the damage, but just the way that car is moving, it looks like
Are you surprised?
Some problems for John
Listen,
Peachy.
at that point in the race, I'd just be doing that too anyway. I don't really care.
Fair enough.
Your boy, Juanito Butler.
Indeed. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the championship after penalties, in which Nathan Edward got 2. One for contact with Fucale, one for contact with Vanger. Fucale picked up a penalty as well for contact with Greenfield. So after the penalties are settled, Fucale...
Wait, is the championship going to be decided on penalties?
It could be.
That's hilarious.
Adelle Fucale leads the championship 537 to Nathan Edwards' 519. We got one race to go. It's an enduro race at Malaysia Sepang GP. Here are the various computations. If Nathan Edwards wins the race and Adelle Fucale finishes 4th or lower, Nathan Edwards is the champion. If he finishes 2nd and Fucale finishes 5th or lower, then he is the champion. If he finishes 3rd and she finishes 7th or lower, He's the champion. And it more or less finishes out like that. If he has 2 cars between, or pardon me, 3 cars between him and her, he's the champion. That's the deal. That's what we look. So Fucale has the power in her own hands. If she takes a podium, she is your season 2 champion. What is your call, Byron? Who you got?
Well, I think the real question is, why isn't, when girls do it, why isn't it known as mistress baiting?
It's an interesting choice.
Good night, everybody.